All right, 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys?
Yo,
A
I'm
Hi.
chilling.
So to
yeah,
introduce you guys here, I have JuMpZ, who has been on this before and is a good friend of mine.
Yo,
I know him from the local Smash community. Um,
yeah.
and then I also have a new guest, AssassinKnight. What do I call you? Do I just call it, say the whole thing, or uh,
you can call me Annie if you want. That's my in real life
Annie?
nickname. Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, nice to meet you. I only know you through JuMpZ, and you guys are on the SoleRuin group. Can you describe what that is to me? Because I know I'm in the Discord, I think, or did I leave it? I don't remember.
You're still there.
I'm still there. Okay.
Still there, yeah.
I like to clean out Discords every now and then because of clutter, but it looks like you guys have made the cut. I'm still in it, and I observe every now and then. And I know you guys just made this like huge collaborative animation. Can you guys tell me what SoleRuin is and what that video is all about?
Okay, so SoleRuin is a server that I'm adminning in right now. So this community is based around the theme of Kirby. That's just like the general love for this community. And we do a lot of things revolving around our fan characters. We make characters based on Kirby and his species. And so as a community, we set up various events, challenges and stuff like that. And one of the recent challenges was called Kirby Rush. In Kirby Rush, you have to make an animation using any animation program that we have, that you have. Most cases, it's Adobe Flash or Animate. And you
Yeah.
have to make an animation by yourself or someone else in the span of maybe 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah. So that
and
was
JuMpZ participated in it, yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
sadly, but yeah.
He actually showed me. I was streaming. I think I don't know if it was last week or the other week, but as soon as it came out, he sent me the link, and it was so long, so I didn't watch the whole thing. But I watched like the first maybe 3 or 4 pieces, and then I skipped to where his was, and it's actually super impressive. It seems like all you guys do sprite work, instead of
mostly.
instead of hand drawn or stick. Because I know there's the Hyun's Dojo community, which is like a lot of stick figures. Or like variations of stick figures, and then there's like hand-drawn animation,
Yeah.
there's 3D animation, but you guys do specifically Kirby sprite work, which is really interesting.
I do a mixture of sprite work and hand drawn stuff, so I'm one of the few outliers in the community. But yes,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
mostly
okay.
the sprites.
Okay.
And plus, there are quite a wide range of people who don't actually actively participate in these events who also fall in that same realm. But
Oh, who are
she's
just like
definitely-
Kirby fans?
Fans,
Yeah,
artists,
also,
writers, very much.
professional artists, writers, and
Okay.
yeah, no, like a lot of the regulars. I mean, some of the regulars here, while they don't participate in the events, they have their own artistic endeavors
Mhm.
as well.
Mhm.
It's quite interesting just to see all the variants.
You mentioned earlier Kirby's species. What is his species? I don't even know.
It's never really been clarified. Actually, I just call
Yeah.
him. The unofficial term for it is called a puffball, but
Oh.
most of us we just consider him a blob of sorts, and so we just based our characters on him.
Okay.
And with that said, our fan characters can be really, really diverse for that reason, because you look at Kirby, he's just a very simple design, and then you can take that design and just put whatever the hell you want.
Right, yeah.
So in my case, one of my more complicated designs is his name is Terra. He's a mech.
Yeah.
And I've put a lot of mech designs on him, and so if you compare him to Kirby, you can see a lot of what you can do with it, like with a species like him. Yeah.
Right, yeah, because the whole point of Kirby is like put a random hat on him and he could be whatever.
Yep.
Mostly. Yeah,
Yeah.
mostly.
Gimmick. And like, yeah, no, on that note, it's like Annie's crazy when it comes to like mechanized designs. Like that's like one of her niches, I'd say. And God, it's
It is,
impressive.
Thank you.
I noticed, JuMpZ told me that you do freelance work for what was it, Death Battle, or no?
Yes.
Was it
Death
Death
Battle.
Battle? Yeah, Death Battle, and that's the one where
They
they.
used to be called School Attack, yeah.
Oh right, yeah, and they do like those sort of conjecture fights, like fantasy fights about like this character versus that character. Are they the ones who do like Goku Superman and like Samus and
Most
versus?
of the like well-known fights, like yeah, that and Mario versus Sonic. Like they remade that animation like 5 times now, and there's a
Oh.
remake of that coming out soon too. So yeah,
Wait, who versus Sonic? Mario?
Mario,
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't
Clap.
Death Battle's animations usually like end up pretty violent. Like at some point they just like kill each other or something.
You should have seen her entry.
Yes, so I animated this season's DBX, specifically Mulan versus Lucina, and another one which is actually coming out soon, which is Kid Goku versus Gon, which I think is coming out next week. Yeah.
Gon
So
Freaks
those
from
fights
Hunter x
will be-
Hunter.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the character, but I was just basing off what I know there. So yeah, in these kind of animations, I just go full ham with like blood, gore, that kind of stuff. And that's usually outside of what I do. So if you go to my channel and just watch my animations, there's like next to no blood. Yeah.
Wait, so because I want to see these that you made. Probably not gonna watch them later, but like, how long have you been doing animation for them?
Okay, so I just recently started freelancing for them, like November last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of what I've done personally, I've been animating since September, October 2011. So I'm an old.
And where do you normally post stuff? Like Twitter, YouTube?
So I used to post stuff on DeviantArt, of all places. I know.
I know.
I know we don't talk about that site, but it was my home site for like 6 years of my life. But yeah, until everyone started moving to Discord, I post my stuff now to YouTube and Discord.
Okay, YouTube and Discord. Okay. Yeah, DeviantArt. That's the old school. You're a boomer like me.
Yes, pretty much.
No, yeah, my wife and I both used DeviantArt like a long time ago.
Okay.
I still try to I actually made a new account and I still try to upload stuff there, and I've noticed the community is still actually really active.
Oh, very active. It's just
Yeah.
like there's been a lot of salt recently over DeviantArt's new Eclipse layout.
Right, the
I don't know if
redesign.
you noticed it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if it works, it works, and I don't think they needed to change anything.
Oh, trust me, the community's had salt over when DeviantArt changed their logo in 2014. I
Oh,
remember
right,
that.
yeah. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I definitely want to check these out. Like, which episodes did you do? Like, which fights?
Oh, I told you already. So it's
Oh.
Mulan versus Lucina, and the other one is Kid Goku versus Gon, which is coming out next week.
And you didn't do any
Yeah.
more than those two for Death Battle yet?
At the moment, yeah, that's the only one I've done.
Okay.
I'm just waiting on requests
Yeah.
from
Her
my
opportunity was
supervisor
pretty
to- Yeah. It's freelancing. Like, I just get told when I have, like, when
Right,
I have
right.
work to do.
Yeah, I tried that. So I had a deal with I think it was like what are they called? Is this esports team Complexity Gaming? And then like I did a video for them, but it was like it was not my thing. I ended up doing one video for them which they used, and I don't even know if they credited me, but I don't really care because I'm the one that broke it off with them. I'm like, hey, I feel like this is not for me. Freelancing is tough because the thing that I don't like about freelancing is I mean it's just part of the business, but like when they ask for a ton of revisions and they ask like, hey, can you make this that way, and they want it to be perfect according to their vision, it's hard to adjust, especially if you feel like you have something done already, and then you gotta
That's
yeah.
actually happened once. So in the middle of my Lucina versus Mulan project, one of my co-workers, Zakatak27, just approached me and said, hey, so some issues arose and we're telling you to change the frame rate of the animation from 30 to 24.
Oh
I'm
my
just
gosh.
like, boy, if you told me that earlier, I wouldn't have that issue. So I spent a whole ass week just fixing the animation so
Oh my
it flows
gosh.
within the 24 frames. Yeah. It's so annoying.
That's a huge
But, well,
change.
But beyond that, like, I haven't had much issues, honestly. So I think it's just a case by case thing.
Right, and it's like client by client too, because like some of them will be like, hey, can you do this in your style, and I do it in my style, and they say, oh, I love it, that's totally fine. But then some people are really specific, like, hey, can you get it this way, and then I do it, and I get to a point where I'm almost finished, and they're like, hey, can you change this and that, and it just gets really tedious. And
yeah, at that point I'd start charging them for excess changes.
Yeah, and I've learned to do that. And I think as much as possible, at the end of the day, I would like to influence my work towards stuff that I like doing, like YouTube, webcomics, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, whatever earns in the business, I just gotta do what people need. So
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and so JuMpZ, I know that you are preparing for school.
Yeah.
for animation, and you start like in a couple months, right?
Yeah, it's actually less than 2 months now. So, man, yeah, no, these preparations have been pretty tight pressure. A lot of the process in terms of actually getting my classes and my like tuition and whatnot due, it's been kind of convoluted lately. There's been a lot of issues because of this pandemic.
Yeah.
But nah, they're trying their hardest to make it streamlined and easy for us to get through. There was a point where I was actually kind of scared because their deadlines were all mixed up, and I wasn't sure if that would mean my enrollment was going to be compromised. But I'm glad that wasn't the case. So, yeah, no, it's although I've had like overall like I've been more nervous about actually getting in now rather than actually studying. It's got it kind of complicated right now. I'm just kind of being patient, but.
Wait, so are you not like you're not a shoo-in for sure, or what?
Oh no, I am. It's just like there are some things that like I'm nervous about, like financially. Actually, working out. That's been kind of complicated right now. Like I'm not even sure if I'm gonna get the amount of money that I would need to actually get in. Like I might have to resort to like more loans.
Shoot, yeah, that's rough.
But yeah, it's pretty rough. But I mean, everyone's pretty supportive. I'm glad that at least I have a means of communicating with the students, because if I didn't have that, I'd be kind of in the dark right now. And yeah, I mean, other than that, I just want to be in at this point. Like, I don't want to worry about this like enrollment process anymore. I think my schedule's still not set in stone. Our professors are still switching them around. They've had to make new sections and whatnot. But honestly, I should have a pretty solid idea of how things are gonna be in 2 weeks. Yeah, doing pretty good in that.
Dude, that's pretty hype. Like, as I know, like logistically, like making a career out of what you're passionate about is really tough. Yeah. And I support you wholly, completely. And but beyond that, like, I know that you just did. I know you did a 24-hour stream on YouTube, right?
Oh,
or was it 12? Was it 12 or 24?
It was supposed to be 24, but I got hit by copyright. Apparently, I was playing some music that YouTube didn't like.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I know that YouTube has always been kind of strict on that stuff, but even Twitch has lately done like a big crackdown on.
I've heard about that from my boyfriend. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh shit, really? Yeah, I haven't kept up with Twitch all that much. Last time I streamed there was probably like, I don't know, 4 months ago, 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally don't use Twitch, so I always prefer YouTube.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. To each their own. I think I will try streaming on YouTube at some point, because my YouTube is actually growing faster than the Twitch, but that's just because of old like tutorials that I did a long time ago.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like that platform is really good, and Twitch is like super saturated, and like all the viewership is kind of there already, and they kind of just go where they go, and it's hard to grow on Twitch as opposed to YouTube, where the content stays. And at the end of the day, YouTube is meant for like archiving a lot more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Also, one thing that always peeved me with Twitch is that your archive streams just get deleted in like 90 days or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I'm always annoyed by that, and with YouTube that doesn't happen unless you unlist the videos.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that the reason I didn't use YouTube, because there's ways to multi-stream, right? So I would do the same stream but stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time, and it was a little bit tedious because I had to pay attention to two chats. But also, as soon as the YouTube one was archived, I got copyright striked right away because I was playing music. But nowadays, now that Twitch is having the crackdown, I'm avoiding music completely. Today's stream, I did just without music at all, and so I'm getting used to it. And so at this point, I feel like I could just stream on YouTube now that I'm getting used to just not having music.
Yeah.
Most times, I would just avoid that completely by using royalty-free music or video game music. Most times, that's okay. Yeah.
So video game music, do they usually let that slide?
Yeah.
It depends on which company you're streaming the music. So I know some companies are just like, whatever the hell, just make as much money as you want to offer them. And then there's companies like Nintendo who actually crack you down on using some of their licenses and stuff like that. It's just like,
yeah.
But in my experiences, I haven't had much issues. So although streaming without music is definitely not my thing, because I am in for the music. I cannot work without music.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure my fans can't work without music. Yeah.
Yeah, I got so used to it. Like, the thing is, for me, if I'm gonna listen to music while I stream, I want it to be music that I like. So I like listening to classics like the Eagles and stuff like that. So just stuff. I mean, it's totally copyrighted and it's totally not okay to stream. So now that Twitch is cracking down, I've gotten used to just talking to chat and just listening to nothing. I would like to enjoy myself more, but I don't know. I guess I've become so business-like lately that I don't, you know, before I got married, my stream used to be really like crazy because I was living alone, and I would just get up and dance and yell and get hype on stream. But now I've really toned it down, and I'm a lot more relaxed. So
Right.
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, but yeah, I'm adjusting.
Hmm.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, back to SoleRuin. I'm really interested in like the community there because I'm part of the Discord, and I see like I mean, because I'm sure you guys are gonna because I want to show them this video that I'm talking to you guys, and I mostly post in like the whole content promotion, and then there's like an art showcase. There's like a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah. There's been a lot of revamps throughout times. I've definitely seen channels shift around just to accommodate.
I am the admin of the server, so these changes happen more often than I'd hope, but they happen. Yeah.
Were you there when it started, Annie?
Jeez.
I joined like a couple months after the server's creation, so the server was actually originally owned by a guy named SoulHunter67, but since then he's moved the ownership to me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So is he the reason it's called SoleRuin?
No. So the original creators of SoleRuin go by the name Lone Alchemist and Destruction series. They are the two sole people who have probably single-handedly started and developed the Kirby sprite animation community back in like 2010.
Oh, wow.
So the community itself is like 10 years old. This Discord server is not that new, sadly, but
I see.
the community itself has been around for like ages. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm looking at the viewer the member list right now. It's like 400, or is there more than that?
There's about 100 active members in the server, but
okay.
there's about 300, I think. No wait,
Wow.
420 something members currently there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean it's a community that's been around for 10 years. So.
Yeah. Because it's such a niche thing, and this is what I really like about Discord, is that groups like this can exist, and constantly be in communication with each other, and it really pushes the ability to create projects like Kirby Rush.
Yep.
Because everyone's in contact all the time. Like last year, I was in a local game developer Discord, and then we ended up doing a game jam. I think Discord is really conducive to like group creative efforts like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I can vouch for that because my previous colleges, the main method of contact I used for my classmates in my previous year in studying was actually Discord.
Oh.
Believe it or not. Yeah. So it's actually a quite versatile platform, in my opinion.
Yeah.
For sure.
I've only really used it for like streamer Discords. Like when I started out, the only reason I started using it is because streamers usually have their own Discord and they build their own community.
Right.
Which that makes sense, but like you can really have huge communities. I know some YouTubers like Markiplier or whatever had like 3 million people in a single Discord, and that just sounds insane. That just sounds like complete spam.
I will not be able to handle that. No.
Right? Yeah, that's crazy. But people use it for different things. Like my wife finally got on Discord, but she only uses it for like Animal Crossing, right? Because Animal Crossing is super active and you can like trade stuff and hang out with people. Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest server I'm in right now is the Risk of Rain 2 server, which I'm never active in.
Risk of Rain 2 has a server?
Yeah, they do.
Is that a game?
That's interesting.
Yeah,
it's a game.
Yes.
So it's a game JuMpZ introduced me to, and I've been loving it since.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a roguelike third-person shooter. It's pretty interesting. Really pour in a lot of hours into this kind of game. Think of Binding of Isaac, but it's a shooter, yeah. But yeah, no, it's approaching its 1.0 launch this September, I believe. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. How many members does the server have? I'm going to give like a rough estimate right now. This scroll is really long. Oh, God. Okay, so it looks like it's hitting like, it's not extremely big compared to some of the numbers we've thrown out there, like almost 3K. It's definitely very active though. Like there's a high concentration of active.
Yeah,
And,
I'm part of one called Art Lounge, which is like a general artist. Because I was looking for like a general art community, but once it gets a certain size, like this one has like maybe like several thousand people, and it's just too much at that point. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah, I
And then
agree.
when you do post something, no one sees it, or only a few people because it's just posting so fast. It's hard.
yeah, I relate because like there was a point for me as well when I was looking for art communities like that. Like probably in 2016, 2017, I was searching for a while. I've joined quite a few of them, but I didn't feel like, I don't know, I was able to integrate myself very well because it wasn't really more so the concentration of people there, but also kind of like they have like these built up like cliques. That's I don't know. I've had a hard time trying to like integrate myself into, and it's not their fault either. It's just it's something they've developed over a very long time. So honestly, like before SoleRuin, like the community I was like, very highly invested in, also a stream Discord. It was actually Introspectives. I'm sure I might have told you a little bit about that, but I'm not sure, Andre.
Which one?
Introspectives Discord, where we Joey and like Alan and everyone else got involved as well. I don't know, it's a very niche community, but we had a really good time in there for like 2 years, and then it kind of just disbanded. But yeah, no.
Yeah, that will happen naturally over time. I've noticed my own personal art Discord server's been a bit quiet because I've been mostly focusing all my activity on SoleRuin. Yeah, it is my own community after all. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that's kind of what happened because Introspective himself got pretty inactive for a while. And now he's got a new server, and I've tried joining it, but I don't know. I just don't feel as connected. A lot of the people I used to talk to kind of just moved on. And yeah, I don't know. Now I'm kind of just like mainly talking SoleRuin. Like I'm in like 90 plus servers right now, like 80% of them being like Smash.
Yeah.
But I never talk in them. In fact, I joined them upon people actually messaging me, but gosh, no, I never interact in those, and it's just a bunch of people wanting me to join their Wi-Fi crews.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the nature of like social circles. I mean, social media as a phenomenon, still, I mean, it exists, but it didn't really change it because, like, in real life, you can only have a certain number of close friends. Like best friends, maybe less than 5 people, and then close friends, maybe less than 15 people, maybe. You can only get so close to so many people because you only have a certain amount of time, and then you want to stay close to the people you're attached to. But then with social media, it's like you can have 1,000 Facebook friends, but how many of them are really your friends?
Yeah. How many are you
I've actually done a lot of research on this. So I used to study psychology back in high school, and so a lot of social connections is actually something I've been pretty interested in. So your figures are actually pretty close, but really the only maximum amount of friends you can have total is about 150.
Right.
And
okay.
Like a 10th or maybe a 15th of that are your closer friends, and maybe only 2 or 3 people are your best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. That seems about right.
At the same time, your brain can only hold so much information. If you try to keep like continually adding to the pool of friends you have, you're gonna burn yourself out. And so this is biological limit that you can only have so many friends before that you burn out. And
so now that we are in online communities that just get bigger and bigger, the thing the thing you said about cliques, that's just naturally going to happen because people can only handle so many people that they get close to and hang out with, like in Discord chats and stuff like that. But I feel like at least the connection and the common ground is there when you have communities like SoleRuin. You have like at least even if everyone doesn't know each other, at least they have everything that the thing that connects them, which is super cool. That's the common topic. So that's for our case. That's Kirby. Yeah.
And I realize it's like that niche that's needed in these kind of like tight knit communities, and not just that, but also whether or not like community has room for like an influx of like new members constantly, which I've seen a lot of like new members join SoleRuin as I.
So recently we actually ended up semi-partnering with Hyun's Dojo, and we just got like a influx of new members coming in. There's a couple of stick animators who've joined us in the creation of Kirby fan characters now. One of the guys there is JuMpZ, and he ended up turning his stick figures into Kirby characters. I'm just like,
oh, nice.
That's really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. for
Yeah.
it?
So there's the big stick community, and I don't know if all of them are Hyun's Dojo. I just know Hyun's Dojo is like huge for the stick community.
It's one of the biggest communities, but I'm pretty sure there's smaller sub-communities.
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually part of one Discord. I was actually invited by a guy named Zucchini Juice, and it's a Discord for only like full body animators, and I joined it, and I'm like, wait a minute, these guys are like pro, like super pro, and I'm actually really shy in that community because as much as I like animating and as much as I try to do well, these guys are like way beyond my level, and I just don't even post anything in there. I only like react to their images. And I'm like, man, these guys like are connected to people working in anime, for Cartoon Network and stuff like that. I'm like, holy smokes, this is. But for me, I see it as a really big opportunity because at some point I'm inspired by them, and at some point I want to get on that level and start posting stuff. And then they post stuff like job opportunities, for animation. It's really cool. And so this
that sounds
type
really
of
cool.
yeah, this type of connection in Discord is really cool. So I'm like looking at it right now, and it's intimidating because as much as I want to engage there, and they even encouraged me. I told them I'm shy, and I told them like, you guys are so good and stuff like that. But they're like, yeah, you should post your stuff, and it's nice to see that they're like really supportive and encouraging. And I just really enjoy the nature of Discord and the nature of communities like that to like bring artists up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, because prior to actually like realizing that Discord was such a good outlet for artists, like my thing in my head was like, okay, well, I guess eventually I'm just gonna Twitter, and like I don't know, I feel like Twitter. I mean, the nature of it, just not as interactive. Honestly, like it's a good place to post your work and like get a presence out in like general online community, I guess. But I don't know. There's obviously, I think, more value, like sort of that kind of tight knit connection with a bunch of other artists, and I see that now, and it's awesome. I definitely, I don't know. I think it's gonna stay around for a while. Obviously, there's just too much desire for this kind of connection. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah,
And communities like SoleRuin in general has been thriving even outside of Discord too. So we kind of just moved there as a new platform when like, Skype just became non-existent nowadays. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean Skype's inferior at this point, and actually with the whole pandemic, video chat services have like blown up everywhere. Like Facebook added a new one, Google added a new one, and Zoom blew up because of, I think, teachers started using Zoom.
yeah.
So yeah, it's really good. The topic of this, the whole title of this, every time I do this, it's called Getting Good, right? And it doesn't really, I always leave the topic open, but because it's something I'm constantly thinking about, just improving at anything. I think one thing that I'm just kind of understanding more now that I'm talking to you guys is the nature of communities and how necessary they are. Because if we go back to like the Renaissance times, right, like Da Vinci and Bernini and Cellini and the sculptors and painters, they had guilds, right? So they had like these buildings. I don't know if they were single central locations or if they were just like social groups, but they would like collect talent and train each other. And so what we're seeing right now, it's kind of like a modern guild, really. Like people coming together and honing their passion in a community that of people that share the same desire. And one thing I'm beginning to understand is like the necessity of it.
Right.
Because I know JuMpZ and I, we come from fighting games, and I like to say you're only as good as who you play with, right? That's like one of my mottos. And it's the same thing in art. Like you improve when you surround yourself with people with pretty much, I mean, I would say a higher skill level than you, really. Or even if they're not a higher skill level, similar skill level, but people that just push you to be better. And
oh yeah, definitely.
yeah. What do you guys have to say about like the necessity of that and how that has like affected you in your own life?
So I come from a weird place, really. So most of my art has just been my own self-teachings and just studying other people's art, but I haven't really connected with like actual art communities to improve my work. So that's why I consider myself self-taught. I never really went into professional teaching about this kind of stuff. So when it came to SoleRuin, I found that there's like this huge potential connection that I could have with improving my art. So I started building friends there. One of the guys there, Sword Greyfire, also known as
Yeah.
Sean, he's one of my first friends on SoleRuin, and he's helped me. We've helped each other grow as like people, as artists, as animators too. So my history in animation also came from SoleRuin as a start because of that, pretty much.
Well, if I had to speak on it, I'll say that it's significantly impacted this sort of my path right now, because even though I've had a common goal, I'd say ever since I was nearly fresh out of high school of wanting to be a professional artist, I wasn't necessarily sure if I would be able to pull it off on my own, because I was plagued by a lot of like insecurities, and that's mostly due to like my environment I was brought up in, kind of trying to steer me away from the arts and whatnot. So, but when I joined SoleRuin, and like I started interacting with all these people, all these like creative minds, and sort of just, I don't know, it just felt refreshing to see like an optimism in the arts. And that's what really kind of got me rolling here. Like I feel like at this moment, I wasn't even, I'm kind of surprised. Like I've reached this point, honestly. Like I'm finally going to San Jose State after being rejected. Like it's been a miracle. Like my mind is a lot healthier as an artist as it was when I first applied last year when I got declined. And like, I don't know, like honestly, just my confidence in actually being able to integrate into this industry was a byproduct of joining SoleRuin, in all honesty.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So
yeah, and my
experiences,
my experiences in freelancing was actually because I had connections with sprite animators in just these communities in general. So another large sprite animation community is MapleStory. So they make a lot of characters based on the game.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So these two communities decided to like part together, and we did a small collaboration back last year, hosted by a guy named Psycho Dino. So this collaboration was called the 15-second brush collab. Basically, make an animation in 15 seconds, and by some miracle, one of the supervisors from Death Battle actually saw the animation, saw my work, and said, "Hey, do you want to freelance for us?"
Oh, like, that's so cool.
Excuse me? Yeah.
That's so cool.
I nearly pissed myself when I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's those like crazy little opportunities that you get from just like participating in communities that just opens you to so many more things. Like, cannot be more thankful for that. Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's kind of how art works, right? Because we all like draw or make our animations. Everyone has their own niche, and everyone is trying to like get better at it. But the point of art is like you don't just practice it. You have to share it with people, and you want to share finished, beautiful products to really express yourself. And if someone likes it and they say, "Hey," say to someone else, "Hey, check this out. This is cool," and it kind of just spreads, right? That's kind of the nature of art and the beauty of it. And then the stuff that really, really gets popular is the stuff that everyone seems to like resonate with. And then you get to the point where like there's levels to everything. And to me, like the biggest entity in art right now is probably something like Disney, right? And even though they own everything, Star Wars, and you can talk about corporate Disney all you want. I don't want to get into the politics of that. But I always think, like every time I go to Disney World or Disneyland and I see how big it is and how much money they're making, I always think it started with one guy just drawing a mouse or whatever characters. Even before Mickey Mouse, there were some other funny looking characters, and it just started with that guy just like wanting to share this medium. And I think your stories are awesome, and like I can relate. Like for me, most of my work and when I started branching out came when I started streaming, because my current niche right now for animation is like alert animation for Twitch. So there's a lot of streamers out there, and they love having their stream look better than other people's streams. They want the stream to really represent them. And so it was the first time I got an opportunity was from a streamer named Cassie Draws, and she said, "Hey, I have an idea for your animations," because I was doing, at the time I was animating Sorbet, my character, for a fighting game. And she was like, "Hey, can you draw me as an alert animation for my stream, like new sub, new follower, and stuff like that?" And then I did that, and then people saw hers, and they're like, "Hey, I saw your animations for Cassie Draws. Can you do my stream?" And then I think, and to this day, I'm still doing those, and that was like 2 years ago. So I think opportunity feeds into more opportunity. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely, I can agree on that. So when it comes to my own commissions, I'm pretty like broad on what people want me. So I'm open to just like regular art commissions. I'm open to graphic design. So I have a history in graphic design where I design mostly logos. So a couple of small businesses approached me, including one of my friends whose dad is running a local volleyball team, and they asked me to make a small logo for them. And I was like, yes, yes, this is the best thing. Yeah. And I also do stream overlays too. So my boyfriend just commissioned me to make 4 stream overlays for his streams as well.
Oh, nice, nice.
I'm hoping. And I also designed the stream overlays for a Smash tourney called, I believe, I know it starts with Tallahassee, but I can't remember the rest of it. So yeah. I believe my boyfriend was also the TO of that.
It's a TO in the area.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you play Smash, Annie? I'm just wondering.
No.
Okay.
I used to back in the Brawl days, but no, I don't anymore. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Because I don't know if you know, but I know JuMpZ from Smash community. I was like the bully back in the day. I used to just take everyone's money. I would win every tournament, every
this guy was
tournament.
#1 for a while.
Yeah. Those days are gone.
Yeah, in my case, I would be too scared to approach you because of that like high stance of you must be that god. But then over time, I realized, hey, most of my inspirations are just regular people living a regular life. What do I have to be scared about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like that's a problem I've seen like major tournaments as well as like I carpool with some people, like, and then we approach like our hotel and then we see some top players and like, dude, look, it's that guy, and like, yeah, it's that guy. Like, let's just go talk to him. You want to talk to him? Let's go. Like, I don't know. It's like
I ever since I was a kid, I try to not get starstruck. I think you don't want to make a person larger than life. I mean, it's okay to honor and acknowledge that this person has skills, but they're a human being and they worked at it, and just like anyone can work at it, and usually they've just done more work, or they're just, I don't like to consider like innate talent as a thing.
Right.
I do think good parenting makes a big difference. But I don't believe in like genetic talent. I think everyone has opportunity to get as far as they want to, and
Absolutely.
great talented people are just regular people, and I think that's why it's important to say, people say meet your heroes. If there was any person I would love to meet, it's probably Hayao Miyazaki. But I think I've watched enough documentaries to kind of get the vibe of who he is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I think it's important to know that like there's regular people, and like that's kind of how I feel about the Zetai Absolute Discord. Like I know that these guys are all just regular people. The way they talk in their their little general chat areas too, they're just regular people. And then I look in the animation section, and I'm like, man, I admire them for sure, but it's not like they're not regular people.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
That's absolutely
So, yeah. In my
bad.
case, I've actually had that personally happen to me. So back in my old DeviantArt days, I used to have people who'd idolize my work to the point where they'd start stalking me.
Oh
yeah,
man.
you don't want to get into that territory because I've had to kind of rudely tell them off. Hey, can you please not do that? I have a life as well. Just treat me like a human being. I'm no one special. Honestly, I'm just like the same person walking across the road right now.
Yeah.
And then over time, these people realize, yeah, I'm not supposed to be some alien from another planet. I'm supposed to be worshipped,
Yeah.
But I'm glad like those days are over now. Like I'm friends with a lot of people. I'm friends with my inspirations too. So one of my inspirations is a guy named XKA Reload X, and his real name is Kevin Eltinder. And we've like been in each other's inspirations for our animations for so long. I love his animation style. I love his characters.
What was his name?
The way his real name is Kevin Eltinder, but his screen name is just KA. So yeah.
KA.
So we've been inspired by each other's work, and I used to ask him back in my early years, but now that we've actually decided on the potentiality of working together on an animation in the future, like that's like the best thing you can ask for, really. Just be able to work together with your idols.
Yeah, that sounds so cool. I would love that. For me, I did mention like in Zetai, I want to surround myself with people who are better than me, but I don't interact with them very much. I think I kind of relate with you in the sense that I'm mostly self-taught. I mean, I did go to school for a little while, but it wasn't really that great. There was only one teacher I remember who was just like amazing at figure drawing, and I was just like mesmerized watching him draw, and I learned so much just from watching him draw. Like, he was Chinese, so he didn't really English as a second language, so he wasn't really good at explaining things, but he was so good when I watched him. I would just learn just from and just absorb it.
I learned from watching other people draw too.
Yeah,
I can feel
yeah.
that in the same way too.
Yeah, and I think I wish I had a little bit more, like, I mean, I'm 30 now, but even now I wish I had a little bit more mentorship. Like, there are a lot of people I idolize, like, in the industry, but I mean, I feel like they would be hard to reach. Yeah, I think I need a little more. I do want to get myself a little bit more integrated with communities of people, specifically with people who are better than me or more experienced, because I feel like it would just help me a lot, just knowing the way they handle themselves, the way they handle their business, like the business aspect of it, and not just the skill aspect of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that too. So I'm friends with one person who works at Nickelodeon. She's part of the Maplemation community I mentioned earlier, and another one of my friends, she's on SoleRuin right now. Her name is the Eternal Flare, and she works for a children's 3D animation studio. So a lot of advice I get from like improving my own work are just from these two people specifically, because I know they have industry experience. And what I've learned from that is that you can also grow those same people too. So I told the Eternal Flare in specific that when the opportunity arises for auditioning for when it comes to Death Battle, I'm definitely going to make her, like, push her into there and get her to develop her portfolio and just really get out there, because I want her to grow the same way as I'm growing right now.
Right.
It's kind of like a shared bond experience, you know? Yeah.
Ah, I see. I didn't even consider that. I always thought, like, I guess that's the point of mentorship too, that you can end up helping them just by you know, sharing in the experience. It's a shared thing, not just a one-to-one, not just a teacher-student relationship or anything like that. I didn't even think of that.
Definitely.
Yeah. I need that. I want to find that.
You'll find it eventually. It just takes time, because these people are also my friends as well. So
yeah,
they just came out of mutual bonding. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm motivated after this conversation to go into Zetai and just start posting, at least in the general chat, like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, something like that.
Just talk.
Absolutely.
Be yourself. It's like the best advice I can give. Just be yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so shy in there, dude. These guys are so pro. These guys worked on like Castlevania and stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Dude,
oh damn. Yeah, I follow a couple of Japanese animators on YouTube who've worked on shows like I forgot what the name was. It Budokai or something like that? Oh, it's that Boruto. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Boruto. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. I've seen some like Genga of that kind of stuff, and I'm just like, damn, I want to do that kind of level.
Yeah, it's insane.
Just
yeah.
Try like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there was one guy, I think his name is Till Finning, and he worked on one of the shots. I think Boruto episode 65 is the one that everyone raves about, like the fight between Naruto, Sasuke, and Momoshiki.
Oh, that
crazy fight.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
and
that was like that was kind of a new phenomenon called like the web generation of animators. It was like led by a Chinese director, but what he did was he gathered a bunch of new generation animators who mostly work like with online. They don't work on paper.
Oh yeah.
And they just got together and just did this crazy fight scene. And there were like more than a dozen like animators working on specific shots in that fight scene. And it was so cool. You can tell that they just had a crazy budget for it, and they were able to hire these guys. And it's cool because those guys are like, I've had some conversations with them like on Twitter. They're not as hard to reach as one might think.
Oh no, definitely.
Yeah.
Like in my case, I'm one of those people, if you consider it, but in a completely different sense, because I'm one of like 3 or 4 Death Battle animes in SoleRuin right now, and I'm probably one of the most easily reachable people on there because, well, I admin the server for once.
Yeah.
And second, it's just I've already established like so many connections with people there way before I've started freelancing. So hey, win scenario, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. I mean, here you are talking to me. I only know you through JuMpZ and SoleRuin, so that's cool. You do seem very personable, and like that's probably just how it is in the animation industry. I mean, I bet there are some like jerks out there, but I would imagine most people are not. You know.
No. Like in my experiences, most animators I met are really just like cool people who just want to chill down and talk to you about the latest games and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure, like speaking from an industry standpoint, if this is truly the nature of like animators, then there wouldn't be room for those jerks to even have a presence, which is probably why.
Yeah. I mean, animation is as a craft, it's just so hard and time consuming, and
I believe it's actually the hardest creative industry to get into. Like,
Yeah.
I think graphic design's easier than that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that because
people complain that's like it's like hard and stuff, and I'm just like, no, animation beats it by a long shot.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Like, I mean, we're probably biased since we're animators, but like animation, I mean, sky's the limit with animation. Like, you look at something like, you know, Marvel Infinity War or whatever. That's done by animators. Most of everything you're seeing is done by animators. I mean, that's like on the 3D industrial level, but it's still the same craft. Like, you're just taking images and moving them around, and it's so difficult because you have to tell a story. The story has to be engaging. Like, all the stuff that comes with regular filmmaking or even writing is just having, you know, telling a story and making the story engaging to the emotions. But with animation, you just have complete control over what people are seeing visually, and that's just a daunting task.
It's daunting, but with practice, it comes as like a natural thing. So in my case, when it comes to freelancing with Death Battle, I handle storyboarding, animatics, the actual animation part, sound design, and post-processing, which is usually just combining clips in Premiere Pro or something like that. Yeah. So in the scope of things, that looks massive, but you can specialize in one field of animation, for example. So one of my classmates wants to become a storyboard artist, and I tell her, and she's got the skills for it too, and she thinks that she's like really good for at being able to just capture the most important scenes and stuff like that. So I'm okay with storyboarding, but I'm not like the greatest at it. But when it comes to like her in specific, it's just really inspiring to see like these kind of people just like, just like specialize in one kind of field, or just be like a jack of all trades like me. So
yeah. So you do sound too?
To some extent, yes.
Okay.
I've recorded my own sounds. I've used sounds from sound packs, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. So like the mixing part of it, that typically comes before, like what stage is that usually done? Like after the storyboard or what?
Also, sound usually comes, for me personally, I apply sounds after I finish the animation because I work in just like a step-by-step thing, but I know one of my co-workers works backwards. So he actually starts with the sounds and then animates it through. I'm just sitting here thinking, how do you do that? That's like trying to animate 3D bones without inverse kinematics, if you know that what that is. So like when you have inverse kinematics on some bones, if you move the arm, for example, the elbow will move along with it. Yeah. So it just like connects by an average basis. Forward kinematics is when you have to actually animate the elbow and the hand separately. So that's just kind of like a weird thing to me. Yeah. But some people can do it. I cannot animate without inverse kinematics. Yeah.
I guess it makes sense either way, because for me, I guess I had the idea in my head that sound comes first. Like, I know that at least in like the like some of the American pipelines, like Nickelodeon, they will do the voice acting and everything first with the storyboard, and then animate the lip sync after this
no. Yeah, when it comes to voices, we often do that first because that's more important than the timing of it. Just like general sounds like Foley, I just add that afterwards. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so okay, now I'm grasping it. It's like it's just whenever it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm learning. Yeah, I mostly don't animate with sound at all because it's usually people have their own sounds for the Twitch animations, so it's not something I'm used to yet.
Yeah, I make like full-fledged actual animations, something similar to like if you know Dorkly, those kind of animations. Like that. Yeah. Now I've started working with my own personal projects, hand-drawn animations too. So one of the collabs I recently participated in was Smash World collab. It's hosted by, again, one of my co-workers from Death Battle, and I decided, hey, let's just go full out. I'm gonna make a full 1 minute hand-drawn animation. Took me 4 months to do it, but it's the best thing I've ever made. And
nice.
Trying to push yourself these kind of limits just helps you grow as an individual person. So yeah, thank you.
I would love to do that. I mean, nowadays I'm so focused on work and earning that it's hard to find time to like do my personal projects. I would love to do just like a straight up fight scene, even just 10, 20, 30 seconds, something short. It still takes forever, but I would love to just do more personal work, and I'm trying to influence my work where I can do more of it. I kind of want to transition talking about like, so last night I was listening to some YouTube videos about like, you know, just general career tips as an artist, and the lady was mentioning just like how important it is to grow an audience. I mean, there are many different reasons why one should grow their own audience, but since I mean, you're with Death Battle, and you also have your own work and your own channels. Like, how has that like process been for you? Like, when was there a certain point where it started just like taking off on its own, or has it always been like a active endeavor to like continue growing your audience?
So most of what my audience is just from friends that I know. Like, again, I've been in SoleRuin for like 8-9 years now, so most of my audience just came from there in general. And then once I just started becoming more active on YouTube, people just came over there and started just like flocking down in general. So on YouTube right now I have about 3,500 subscribers, and they're almost always there just for my animations and sometimes my live streams as well. So those people, that's just the same friends that I built over on SoleRuin in most like couple years, and so yeah, nothing's really changed.
I see.
I have been like, my work has been linked to like bigger names and such like that out there, but my main audience is just mostly been the friends that I know of. Yeah.
Okay, I like that because I know I have another friend. It's actually funny. I'm not gonna name his name here, but a friend recently said to me, like, it's a friend I had known for a long time, and he was trying to give me some tips on like growing my audience as well, and I was like, I didn't know why he was telling me that. But he said, just so you know, I'm not, you know, talking out of my ass. Like, he said, I've actually been an NSFW artist for like years, ever since you've known me. And I was like, what? Wait, what? And then I was just mind blown. And but he said like one thing that he did was like focus on growing the audience, and it's just something you just gotta do over time. And it makes sense to me that like, cause we mentioned in our conversation that the best fans are the ones that like from the very beginning are super supportive. Like, even if you have like, because I'm releasing a webcomic, right, and I just have like a very small amount of people but they read every chapter and they're commenting on every chapter and they love it and they're so supportive. And then but those are the ones, you know, that they're just going to be with you forever. And I think that's really cool.
relate on that.
Yeah,
I agree.
Okay.
And in that sense, I also want to add that you shouldn't try to force yourself to grow an audience as well, because you're gonna just become depressed if you do that, because you'll just be focusing on trying to create a reality that doesn't exist. So that was actually something I fell into for a little bit, but I got out of it quick. So I was just like infatuated with this idea of, hey, I need to be popular, I needed to make money, I needed to get out there, get my name out there. But then I realized that's just taking up so much energy. I was just like, screw it, and just let time do its work. And ironically, that turned out to be the better solution. So hey.
That's really good advice. I will definitely keep that in mind. Yeah, because sometimes I feel like I'm in a hurry, you know?
When it comes to just like general things, just don't force it. Like, let time do its thing. Let nature roll its life. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. That's good tip. Great tip. Yeah, so I mean, what's next for you guys? Like, is SoleRuin doing another big project anytime soon?
We've had plans for Kirby Rush 3. I don't know when that is, but I'm hoping that I can participate in it. Granted that sleep doesn't take me over first, but yeah, outside of that, it's just like a time-based come-by thing. So if something new gets announced, we'll just tell the community about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be able to participate in Kirby Rush 3, but I would like to, that's for sure.
So JuMpZ, what have you been working on like during your school prep, during the rest of the summer? Like, are you practicing still, or is there anything you're animating?
I've been focused on one project right now, and that's putting out an introductory video for my main character, Aperture, who's I have a profile picture of right now, who was also featured in Kirby Rush 2. So yeah, it's been my main focus lately, because I don't know, I've kind of wanted to like establish myself in the Kirby FC community, so I decided that'd be a good way of doing it. So I've been working on the storyboard for that animation, and just sort of, I don't know, it's been kind of a slow process, because I realized, like, as I started working, I did like 4 storyboard panels. I realized I needed to design a new character for the sake of my story. So my hope is that I can get it out there before my classes start, because I ideally would like to have, to, like, just take advantage of all the free time I have right now, because I won't know how much time I'm gonna have for my projects as I go into studies.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, I would say just assume you have almost zero, because you just want to succeed in school. But I think, I mean, it really depends on you as a person. Like, because I have seen some people going to school in art school and just still working on their personal stuff. It's really tough, but it's possible.
I think it's a
in my
matter
case, that's
of
like,
time management.
in my case, that's 100% possible because most of my work has been moved on to online studies now. Even though I study like 8-9 hours Monday to Thursday, I still have time to just like do things that I've done. So the Smashwall collab, for example, I started my entry like 2-3 months before I started studies. So,
So are you still in school right now, Annie?
Yes, I'm currently on a 3-week holiday break. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's right. Yeah, JuMpZ mentioned that to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait, you mentioned it. No, you mentioned it in the chat, I think, because we were talking about that you were free for this.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean, I don't know what else I want to talk about, but it's been a good little session here. I mean, shout out to SoleRuin. Seems like a great community. I should definitely like look at it more, because like you guys said, sometimes you're just in a bunch of Discords and you don't check them all. But it's such an interesting like niche to me, because that's really what it is. It's a niche. It's a very specific niche, but it's surprising. Maybe not surprising, but it's amazing how everyone who wants to be in that niche is like there, and they all like share the same passion for the same thing. And there's like so much of this content that I never would have known existed if JuMpZ didn't show me.
Yeah. And
that
funnily
is the
enough,
power of sharing. Yep.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, me joining SoleRuin was a complete coincidence. And like, the reason behind that is like, I don't know. I've honestly in the past been pretty oblivious to it, but I've actually been consuming like this Kirby type content for a very long time. Like I used to watch Destruction series and like Lone Alchemist's like content for a very long time. But I don't know why something in my brain didn't like connect the dots. Like, oh yeah, you know, like this there's like a niche here that exists, but I never actually tried looking. And it wasn't until like almost 2 years ago. Yeah, it's always been 2 years, hasn't it? I realized that. Almost 2 years ago that I accidentally like I was like, you know what? I want to see if there's like more this year, because I never actually did any more in-depth searching. Like the modern Kirby like fan character content I'm assuming before joining SoleRuin was like Squirrel Kid, and that was like almost it. I actually found AssassinKnight not through her animations, but through her Terraria playthroughs.
Oh.
Yeah.
It
Still
like
shocked me when you told
she found that so surprising. She's like, wait, you found me through Terraria?
Wow.
And like the funny part is I didn't even play Terraria at the time. I was just kind of like going through random recommendations. And,
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, YouTube.
And then like I stumbled across some like this guy named Monosurge, his DeviantArt. He has like a waddle character, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I just started like, because I never browsed DeviantArt up until that point. Like I did kind of when I was younger, but I was never really involved until like I'm still not even involved. I just have an account to browse content. Then like I all of a sudden stumbled across the server link, and there I am.
Nice.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
And now 2 years later, I consider you one of my best friends. So hey.
That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah, I met some of like the best people, so I'm glad.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story of SoleRuin. I'm happy to know that this exists, and I'm happy to, I guess, be a part of it. I mean, I'm not that active, and I don't really post my stuff. I know, because when I first joined it, JuMpZ was like encouraging me, hey, post your stuff. The thing is, because the stuff that I make is not in the niche, right? I don't make anything Kirby related. I don't do spray work. But I mean,
no, there's tons of artists on SoleRuin who actually don't draw Kirby stuff at all. It's just they draw original content, other fandom content, but we're just connected because we're just friends with each other. That's really just the heart of the community in general.
Okay.
Like the general topics is still Kirby.
Right.
But I'm not saying that you can only join if you're a Kirby fan.
Right,
because
yeah,
that
of course.
Really strict to me here. But yeah, that's just how things are, really. Yeah.
Cool.
And like, yeah, and it can be pretty easy to kind of get that impression, you know, like, oh, this is Kirby content. I should only post Kirby content. But like, yeah, there's quite a few creators that, you know, they just do their own thing. and it's great, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks to this conversation, I'm motivated and inspired. Not only in SoleRuin, I'm gonna post my stuff when I make it, but also Zetai, which is the real goal for me because those guys are crazy. But yeah, like I just gotta not be shy about it. But also sometimes I feel like, man, am I just here to plug myself? You know, am I here to actually connect with people? But I think as long as I post stuff, I don't, because I do,
talk to people, just form connections, because those connections will last you a long time.
And I think like through posting your stuff, you know, like it's
that's a moment of
like you're gonna be making that connection through your work.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just gotta not be afraid. I don't know what I'm. It's not that I'm afraid, or maybe I am. Maybe there's still some kind of fear in me, like I don't know what it is. You ever feel that? Like.
Well, then my question is, what do you have to lose when you post your work? Just answer. Like, ask that yourself. What do you have to lose?
Yeah, I guess there's nothing.
Again, I'm telling you as someone who studied psychology. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, any kind of stuff that, like when I first joined, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I want to like integrate myself creatively yet, and it's like, just fucking do it. Like her and like Sean and like everyone else is like, just post your work, idiot.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. The thing is, like, I guess the only fear, because if there's anything, because I guess when you put it that way, there's nothing to lose. But I guess the fear inside is like, what if people think I'm just here to plug? That's like the one fear that I have. I think, you know.
I would have. Well, if you were here to plug, I would have noticed it already. But if you didn't, well, you did something right. So
right.
In my sense, I see plugging as, well, you just come in, you post your work, you advertise on others, and then just leave or never speak again.
Yeah.
Those kind of people just do it because they want attention. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't think you're in it for the attention. So yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to do that. That's the last thing I want. So, yeah, it's all. Yeah, I just got to be genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you too.
Yeah,
thank you too for hosting this podcast.
A great conversation to listen to. Like, I was excited for it because both of y'all are like some of my biggest inspirations. So I just wanted to hear the conversation.
Thank you. Well, that means a lot. And now I have met another inspiration for me too. So great to meet you, Annie. Great talking to you.
Great to meet you too.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna I guess upload this and post it. You guys want to make any final shout outs before I stop the recording?
I love you, Loyal Alchemist and DS. Go be in the death battle.
Nice.
Shout out to SoleRuin.
Yeah, shout out to SoleRuin.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, and I will stop in 3, 2, 1.